I purchased this vintage wedding dress from my favorite thrift store back in December of 2024. It sat on their retro rack for a few weeks, and I was waiting for that color tag to go to half price, and I'm thinking that nobody else really was grabbing it because of all the stains that were on it. The thrift store has a color code system where a certain color is featured for their half price starting on a Sunday. So I was waiting for it to go half price, and I picked it up. So inside the dress were some dry clean tags and then this note saying that they just basically could not get it any cleaner. It must have been dry cleaned at least twice. I've been looking forward to working on this dress in hopes that it would be able to be cleaned, and now I finally can. So I'm starting with 1 tablespoon of retro wash, and instead of Dawn, I'm going to use a little bit of this Persil detergent, just a little bit, and then some Arm & Hammer super washing soda that just kind of bumps up the effectiveness of the other products. And in it goes into the bath. This takes up quite a bit of volume, this dress. It has a built-in net layer underneath. So I'm actually doing it in the full bathtub for now instead of just the kind of little tubs that I put inside. So one thing I know going into this is an acetate taffeta, and I know that the texture of the taffeta is going to soften from doing the washing, but I think that's a trade-off for potentially getting it clean, and you can always put a crinoline underneath. So I'm adding actually fairly warm to hot water, and I did a 1-hour soak, and then I let that water drain out. And then I didn't rinse it at this point. I just wanted to see where the stains were at this point. So I let it dry, even though I hadn't rinsed it yet. And I looked it over, and it is much better, but it definitely still needs some more work. So I'm going to keep going. So then now I'm doing a rinse, and then let that water drain out. And now I'm going on to the sodium perborate, and I am going to add a 1/4 cup also of sodium percarbonate. And I'm dissolving both of them together. So we are having a very cold day here in Minnesota with a -10 temperature. My poor water heater is in our very cold basement and just was not able to get to its normal warm temperature. So I did bump it up with adding some boiling water that I did on the stovetop. So then I've got that submerged, covered with the sheet, then the bubble wrap, and then these other kind of racks to keep everything submerged. And it also helps to insulate it. I know it was kind of a ridiculous setup, but it worked. So I let everything soak for 10 hours, and I took a look at it. The temperature dropped down to 86 degrees from 117. So it's, like I said, it's pretty cold, and our house is pretty chilly too. So it looked good after the 10 hours, so I drained that water and I rinsed it, and now I have to wash off the products from before. So back to the retro wash, did a round of that, rinsed that off, and then to kind of help get the soap residue out and also kind of acts as sort of a softening agent, I guess, I did a little bit of vinegar in one of the rinse rounds. And then I let that drip for a while and then put it on the mannequin overnight. The next morning, it's on to the ironing, which I do as much as I can on the inside of it. And you've probably seen if you have seen in my last few videos, I am in love. The honeymoon is not over yet for me in this iron. I'm telling you, it has been a game changer. So those pleats, there's some kind of tucks on the skirt. Now, it probably would have been easier if I had just released all the stitches and then pressed it flat and then restitched them. But I just kept the stitches in, and I just kind of did kind of repress just the centers of them, and then up to each one, I put them on my sleeve board and then just kind of pressed up to each pleat as much as I could. It was very time consuming, and it still took a few hours to do the pressing. But I replaced the buttons, and now here is a reminder of how it looked before. There were spots throughout the entire dress, not just on the front. The whole dress had these brown spots throughout it. And now look. Oh my goodness. It not only is it white and the stains are gone. Actually, the texture is quite lovely. But look at that. I just think that lace is so pretty. It looks like snowflakes to me, and that's why I wanted to kind of show this outside in the snow, because wouldn't this be so pretty for a winter wedding? I mean, you could wear it year round, but oh my goodness, I just think it is such a gorgeous dress. So if you happen to be watching, if you were the person that donated this dress because it wasn't able to be cleaned, it's clean now. Anyway, here's kind of the really unique detail of those tucks. It starts with 4 in the back, then 3 tucks, then 2 tucks on the side, and then 1 tuck in the front. Beautiful. I love that draping effect of that. Isn't that gorgeous? I do have crinolines underneath it here, as it probably would have had when it was worn originally. And then there's the replacement buttons on the back. But there's that lovely lace. I love it's very unique. I've never seen a lace like this before. And there's a shot of those wonderful tucks that just add such softness and beauty to this full skirt of this wonderful 1950s dress. And now it is clean and white and wearable once again, 70 years later.